Hi everybody, I would like to show you a new video where I compare the image quality that you can generate with the Sony A6000, and this is basically upon request, or at least based on comments from a few users. I have compared the image quality of the A6000 with the pancake lens, with the 20mm pancake lens, to the quality of the Ricoh GR. And the GR was a clear winner, and as I have stated in my video, I was strongly under the assumption that the image quality delivered was not so much influenced by the sensor or the camera itself, but more by the lens. And so I decided to do an image quality test to see if there was any issue with the A6000's sensor quality. So I compared it, and this may seem a little weird, but it's not as weird as you may think. So I took the A6000, put on the 35mm 2.8 that is originally a full frame lens for the A7, A7II, A7R, A7S, and compared it to the A7II in this case, with the 55mm lens. So adding the crop factor to the A6000 of 1.5, that would give you a very similar focal length, or at least focal ratio. So let me just show you a little bit of what I did. I did a few test shots with manual, automatic, and everything, but I would like to show you basically the two that I did with the two cameras, and that's these two. The setting was at 2.8, and the camera was set to aperture priority, so the speeds are a little bit different. This A6000, as you see here, was set to 1/3200th of a second, and the A7II was set to 1/4000th of a second. But basically, that should show you the results. And interestingly enough, let me just make this as big as we can. You have here on the right side, you have the A7II, and on the left side you have the A6000 result, and you see this is the 35mm 2.8 at 2.8, and this is the 55mm also at 2.8, even though this is a 1.8 lens, but I wanted to have it at a comparable level. And if I increase the size here, you see that the lens is a little bit softer, and there's some chromatic aberration, but in terms of sharpness, the two are actually quite close. The shot taken with the A7 may be a little bit sharper in details, but that may also be influenced by the lack of chromatic aberration on this side, because the lens was stopped down a little bit. So in the end, you would see that the sensor quality is really high on the A6000. If you give it a chance with a good lens, you will get fantastic results. And since it's both 24 megapixel sensors, the aspect ratio is quite similar. Let me just go back a second and see. I also had taken some shots at 5.6. Here we go with the 6000, and let me pick the one with the A7II, and it's these two. And if we put them side by side, you will see that both lenses stopped down end up having very similar results. Because if you look at these edges here on the roof of the house, and this corner here, the metal here, the reflections on the metal, really you have to say it's very close. You may probably see some. Let's see if we go a little bit further, and actually I would say it's hard to see a difference. Maybe very slightly down here where the rust is or the oxidation is on the window, but the detail is there, and really the quality, the sharpness is definitely there. So the outcome of this, I would say, is really the A6000 in terms of sensor quality is absolutely exceptional. Just the 20mm lens, and I'm still happy I took this because it's really small, and that's what I was going for. It's a tiny pancake lens, and that's what I wanted. And I received comments saying, yeah, the Sigma 19mm is a lot sharper. Absolutely, I'm convinced it is, and I may get that for the sharpness one day, since it's also like kind of a budget lens. But I wanted to have the smallest possible package for this to have in my, basically in my pocket. And also one thing that you have to consider, if you look at these two images, you have a full frame camera and compared to an APS-C camera, but the quality and the resolution and everything are really exceptional. This is what I wanted to show you because I had received some comments, and if you have any comment on this one, please don't hesitate to come back. As you see, maybe here there might be a little advantage to the A7 Mark II, but it's quite slight. It's not. If you go back, and I will put a link to my previous video on the 20mm lens, and that lens really had some flaws in terms of sharpness, even in the center of the image. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like, comment if you like, and I hope to see you back here soon. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.